I never believed in the paranormal until that night in November 2019, when I was working security at a corporate office building in downtown Seattle. My name is Marcus, and I'd been doing night security for about 3 years at that point. The building was one of those modern glass towers, 32 floors of offices that emptied out by 7 p.m., leaving just me and the occasional late working executive. My job was simple: monitor the cameras, do hourly rounds, check badges, and make sure no one who shouldn't be there got in. That particular night started like any other. I clocked in at 11 p.m., relieving Dave from the evening shift. He mentioned that camera 14 on the 7th floor had been glitching, showing static occasionally, but maintenance would check it in the morning. I made a note and settled into my desk at the security station in the lobby, surrounded by 3 monitors displaying feeds from 48 cameras throughout the building. Around 1:30 a.m., I started my second round. Company protocol required physical walkthroughs every 2 hours, checking each floor for anything unusual. I grabbed my flashlight and key card, locked the security office, and headed to the elevators. The building always felt different at night, the fluorescent emergency lighting cast long shadows, and the silence was so complete you could hear the electrical hum of the servers on the IT floor. I was on the 7th floor, walking past the accounting department, when I noticed something odd. The motion sensor lights, which should have turned on as I walked, remained off. I flicked my flashlight on and checked the nearest sensor. The little red eye that usually blinked was dark. Power issue? Maybe. I made another note on my phone to report it. That's when I heard it. Footsteps, not mine. They were coming from somewhere behind me, matching my pace exactly. I stopped. They stopped. I turned around, shining my light down the hallway. Nothing. Just rows of dark cubicles behind glass doors. I continued walking, faster now, and the footsteps resumed. They seemed to be coming from the parallel hallway on the other side of the cubicles. Maybe someone was working late and I hadn't been notified. It happens sometimes. Hello? I called out. Security. Anyone there? No response. The footsteps stopped again. I decided to cut my round short and head back to the security station. Something felt wrong, and I'd learned to trust that instinct. As I waited for the elevator, I could have sworn I saw movement in my peripheral vision, a shadow sliding along the wall. But when I looked directly, there was nothing there. Back at my desk, I immediately pulled up the footage from the 7th floor to see if I'd missed someone. I rewound to 1:30 a.m., watching myself exit the elevator. That's when my blood ran cold. On the screen, I could see myself walking down the hallway, flashlight in hand. But there was someone else, about 10 feet behind me, matching my movements exactly. Was another figure? It was dressed identically to me, same security uniform, same build, same walk. But where its face should have been was just darkness, not shadow, but an absence, like someone had taken an eraser to that part of the video. I watched, transfixed, as this thing followed me through my entire route on the 7th floor. When I stopped, it stopped. When I turned around, it turned too, always staying just out of my flashlight's beam. The worst part was when I called out hello, I saw its mouth area move too, as if it was mimicking my words. My hands were shaking as I switched to the live feed. The 7th floor was empty now. I cycled through all the cameras, looking for any sign of the figure. Nothing. Then I noticed something that made my stomach drop. Camera 14, the one Dave said was glitching, was showing my security station. That camera was supposed to be watching the supply closet on 7, not the lobby. On camera 14's feed, I could see myself sitting at the security desk, looking at the monitors, but standing right behind me, so close it could touch me, was the figure. The same dark uniform, the same missing face. As I watched, it leaned forward, getting closer to the back of my head. I spun around so fast my chair toppled over. The lobby was empty. Just me, alone. I looked back at the monitor. The figure was gone and camera 14 was showing static. I grabbed my things and ran. I didn't finish my shift. I didn't lock up properly. I just ran. I called my supervisor from my car, making up a family emergency. I never went back. I couldn't. 2 weeks later, I heard from Dave that they'd found something disturbing during the maintenance check. Camera 14's wiring had been tampered with, spliced and rerouted in a way that shouldn't have been possible without triggering alarms. But here's what really haunts me. They pulled the archived footage from that camera going back months, in dozens of night shifts that I was doing my rounds, completely unaware that this thing had been following me the entire time. The building's management kept it quiet, but 3 other night security guards quit within the month. Dave told me they all reported seeing themselves on cameras where they shouldn't be, always with something dark right behind them. I work day shifts now at a different company, but sometimes, when I pass by reflective surfaces or security cameras, I can't help but look twice, because once you've seen yourself where you're not supposed to be, you never really stop looking.